I found out about the foundation just through some women that I was working out with, the breast cancer survivors in the beauty program. And I really didn't feel that I linked up with anybody that was really going through it until after, sort of at the end of my treatment, which is unfortunate because I think my whole experience would have been a lot different if I, say, came here at the beginning. If I really would have known about this organization and what it did, probably emotionally it would have been much better for me, and my family as well. My checkups, follow-ups, the care, just to help me deal with the side effects of the treatment has been a big thing. And then I completed the recovery program. Oh, the recovery program was amazing. I can't say enough about that. I don't know how many women, I think there was 10 to 12 women, 10 women in the group. We shared the common bond, but we were all very different backgrounds and stuff. And we formed a really strong bond as a group by the end and have carried on that sort of relationship after. But I think the information that we received and the opportunity to share our feelings about the information was amazing. It was very good. And once I got into that group, I realized, I still had a lot of things that steps that I had to go through, kind of, I guess, if you want to call it that grieving process of maybe life before cancer and now the reality of my life now. Yeah, we've got that medical, information. We've got the emotional psychology kind of information, and then it was that ability just to share all that information with other people and hear other people's stories and just, talk about our experiences in a way that we probably can't do, I would say, for the most part, with our own family and friends, because they just don't have that. As much as they care, they just can't relate. Mm-hmm. It was intense, and I didn't want it to end. The 12 weeks, I knew that I was ready, but in a way I wasn't, because I didn't want to lose that bond with the group. But we've actually carried that on for the most, there's core of us that are, we set up times to get together and keep in contact. That's been amazing. I think the first thing that probably most people feel is the shock of the diagnosis, and for me I was thinking, well, how could that be? I'm healthy, I'm fit, I eat well, I'm young, how did that happen? And then you kind of deal with okay, well, now I have to get going and move on. The family is, all stressed, and you're trying to hold it up for them as well for yourself. And it's hard. It's such an emotional craziness, and you've got so much information coming to you. You've got medical information, you have all this information. You go to the doctor and you're given stacks of stuff like this, and it's hard to compute what that actually means. I think when you're going through treatment, you're going through this experience, you somehow think that, okay, they say you're going through surgery. Okay, I'll get through surgery and then things will be okay. Oh, no, now we need to do chemo. Sorry, things aren't going as planned. We need to do chemotherapy. Okay. And then we're going to do radiation. So you keep going through, you break it down into these humps that you'll get through. But somehow at the end of that radiation, I thought that I would be able to carry on. Like, I thought that I'd be able to return to work right away. I'd be able to just move on. And I wasn't. I just felt like I had through a boxing ring, and I just, how many rounds with Mike Tyson? I couldn't. I was so emotionally drained, and I wasn't anticipating that. I guess on my family, they're dealing with the stress and the worry. They're dealing with trying to help you out. I also think there's some resentment, like, with my children, they want to carry on a regular life, and, they, as much as they were doing everything, I could tell every once in a while in all their worry that they would they just want to do the normal things. I didn't have the energy to do all the normal things that I would normally, that we would carry on with. So they're dealing with a whole bunch of issues, and they're extremely worried. For my husband, I think he's worried, but trying to be strong. For me, particularly, we go through so many different changes, and you're going through all the emotional changes that are happening. It's the physical changes and as well, like getting used to your new body. You're going through having the surgery and you have scars. Okay, well, that's one more thing to deal with. And then it's, okay, now I'm bald. Well, at first I was quite self-conscious, and then after that I was like, who cares? All my friends and family that were close, they see me bald and I didn't care. But every once in a while, it bothers you. You think, wow, I don't want that. I don't want people to see me like that or be shocked. So when you go out in public, you might, really in public, you go to the grocery store, I might put on a hat or a wig. Sometimes I couldn't deal with people's reaction because it was hard for them to see. And then I think you also are dealing with, I don't want to say the spiritual thing. So, your belief system sort of, I guess, are affected. But it's a different sort of connection that I have with my spirituality. Yeah, my relationships with my friends and things have changed in a way, but for the most part, I would say they've got closer. And how much support I got from my friends, and it made me just realize that, we all go through things in life. My thing is cancer right now, and someone else is going through something else. And at that time, I needed a lot of support, but I'm kind of out of that phase now. It's not that I don't need support, but I really feel that now I can move on and help people, not just with other women going through cancer, but friends that are going through other problems and things. And I think it's given me a different understanding of that. A bit of a shock on my hairstylist. I was super busy. I worked for a professional hair color company. I worked in my salon, and I loved that work, and I still like it. Like, I can't do the pace that I did, and it's more that I physically can't do it. There's a whole, it's so intertwined. It's every aspect of the life. I have made so many new friends. I've had so many new connections. And it's a cliche, but you do have a better appreciation for life. You have a better appreciation for the people in your life. I have definitely went through a negative experience, but I do feel that I've come out sort of on a higher playing field. First of all, if they could find a connection right away, and for me, if I could go back and say, okay, I would have come back here right when I was diagnosed to breast cancer support care and get hooked up with their services and support, I think that would have made a huge difference in how my sort of journey went. One of the biggest things I think is just to be okay with how you actually feel. Because when you're going through this at the beginning, a lot of people are saying, it'll be fine, it's okay, don't worry. And I think that's hard because you're going through all this and you want somebody just to say, it's okay to feel how you feel. And yeah, sometimes we do have to buck it up in life, but I think you still have to accept how you feel and realize that that's okay. It's okay to feel angry, it's okay to feel sad, it's okay to feel happy, it's just okay to feel what you feel. I grew up in Saskatchewan. I grew up in a farm. My husband got a job in Calgary, so we moved to Calgary. And then once I had my children, I worked for a professional hair color company, doing education, teaching classes, and doing some supervising, managing roles. I did a lot of traveling with that, and then worked in my salon. I have 2 children. My daughter is 16 and my son is 13, and they were 11 and 14 when I was diagnosed. And so fairly involved with their lives, and it's quite fun. I love to travel, and not just exotic places like anywhere. So, camping, I don't really care. And I've always been physically active, and I just can't say enough about it, about coming here. I really can't. It's just helped me in so many ways, and I really don't know what I would be doing without this. And as I'm trying, as you're moving on in life, you still have different worries and concerns, and knowing that I have this place in my back pocket, and there's somebody looking out for me that's just a true, they're experts in what I'm dealing with, that my family doctor and can't be, right? It's